The hope was more heated debate would finally lead to a decision, but that decision is once again put on hold concerning the longest-running nursing home in Stephenson County.
23 News reporter Anthony Ferretti talks to county board members and nursing home activists about what's best in this course of action for Walnut Acres. Is sell or save?
That's exactly right. The Stephenson County Board votes to not follow up on a letter of intent from a healthcare investment company to buy Walnut Acres for $1.6 million. But they haven't ruled out accepting the offer yet and won't decide until the next meeting.
It's not fair to force those residents to relocate, and it's not fair to let those employees go.
A strong showing of Freeport residents voiced their concerns about selling Walnut Acres, a possible fate that currently lies in the hands of the Stephenson County Board.
Letting employees go is always a difficult decision, and relocating the residents cannot be a simple matter, even if it's just across the town.
The Stephenson County Board has been in contact with Helios, a broker for the nursing home. Board chairperson Scott Helms says it's better for another party to oversee the nursing home instead of the county.
The best chance for the residents and the employees to stay out there and stay employed is for someone else to own the nursing home besides Stephenson County.
Helms says the nursing home has more than $1 million in revenue to make up, and the county has exhausted all options trying to save it on its own.
There's a reason why there are only 16 or 17 county-owned nursing homes in a state with 102 counties.
About 50 people live in the nursing home. One board member who believes Walnut Acres should be saved says if the board leaves management to the professionals, they can almost double the number of current residents.
The nursing home can be saved. We just got to stop saying we're going to sell the nursing home.
Another option discussed is to have a referendum. And because Walnut Acres was built on a referendum, the Stephenson County State's attorney says the nursing home could also be sold with a referendum.
Thank you, Anthony. And the letter of intent by the potential buyer just means that company is interested in taking over Walnut Acres.
They still haven't made an official commitment to buy the nursing home from the county at that $1.6 million price tag.